In my hands today is the ROG Phone 5S Pro, and it comes with a bunch of improvements over the original ROG Phone 5, such as a more powerful Snapdragon 888 Plus, a faster touch sampling rate, and many more. Since you've already seen reviews of this phone on the internet already, I figured since it's a gaming phone, what I'm gonna do today is actually just show you straight up gameplay and game performance. With that, I'm gonna see how fast the Snapdragon 888 Plus performs, and I'm gonna test out its thermal performance. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna game for a couple of hours, maybe 2.5 hours. I'm gonna try out 5 to 6 games, and they will include all your favorites. And at the end of each session, I'm gonna measure 2 things: battery life and the temperature. I'm gonna measure the temperature using this surface thermometer that I have right here. And then I'm also going to use the included case on the phone, because what I wanna do is I want to mimic a scenario that you will be experiencing as well when you get the phone. So with that out of the way, without further ado, let's start gaming. Now the first game I'm gonna play is Call of Duty Mobile, and I currently have 99% battery life. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna turn on X mode until I feel like it's absolutely necessary, and until it starts to stutter and lag, then maybe I'll turn on X mode. But for now, I'm gonna ramp up all the graphic settings and favorite settings to absolute maximum, the highest I can go, and I'm just gonna start the match. Again, battery life 99%, and we'll see how it goes. So after half an hour of gaming on Call of Duty Mobile, I played a few random rounds and a round of Battle Royale. The frame rates I got were very consistent. It fluctuated between 59 and 60, maybe dropped to 58, but it was fine. Temperature wise, I'm gonna test that now, right at the center. Around 35.8, so 36. On the sides with the case on, 34, near the cameras, 35, and on the screen itself, right in the center, it's 37.4. What about on the sides? 35 and 35.7. Now, I want to say that while holding this phone, it doesn't feel very uncomfortable even after half an hour of gaming on Call of Duty Mobile. Again, it's not really a demanding game, and the chipset, the Snapdragon 888 Plus, is placed right in the center, so it makes sense that the center is warmer than on the sides. So I currently have 86% battery life left, and we started at 99%, so not too bad overall. So after half an hour of gaming on Call of Duty Mobile, everything feels great so far. Let's move on to the next game. Now the next game I'm gonna play is Asphalt 9. Let's shake things up a bit from a shooter to now a racing game. I currently have 85% battery life. It dropped a bit while we were messing around with the cameras. And let me just show you the settings quickly. We should be able. Now let's go to game settings. Let's go to the sound and display. My visual settings, it's set at high quality. Let's go back home. So that was Asphalt 9, my second game. I've only played about 20 minutes of Asphalt 9 because it didn't quite excite me or interest me too much. But after 20 minutes, my battery life is currently 76%. And as I recall before, I think it was around 86. So a nice 10% drop there. In terms of the performance of the game, there was very little stuttering. I don't think there was any. I didn't notice any stuttering. The frame rates seem to fluctuate again between 58 and 60, so it's absolutely fine. The temperatures, however, let's quickly check. Let's check the center again, 35.2. Let's check the sides, 33.6, 33.5, and the bottom here, 34. And let's check the screen, 36.1, that is the hottest point, 34.8 on the sides. Yeah, so again, temps are actually pretty decent. I did not feel uncomfortable at all. I think the case is helping somewhat, especially since it covers most of the side anyways. So without further ado, let's move on to our next game. Graphic settings is set at ultra, battery percent is 76, and this game only supports 60, and it is at maximum frame rates right now. So It is at the loading screen and I am going to play... Yeah, sure. Tiger. So that was the third game done, Mobile Legends, and frame rates were very smooth as usual. Mobile Legends never usually give me any problems, and we spent about 20-ish minutes, and all I did was play Brawl at the ultra graphics settings. And let's talk about temps first. Again, let's go to the middle. 33, 31.8 or 32 on the sides, again 31. Let's go to the center of the screen, 34.3 and 32.8 on the sides. Now, as usual, Mobile Legends isn't quite a demanding game, so we can expect the temps to be pretty low as expected. The battery life is 71. I think we only dropped a few percentages from just now. I think it was 76. So yeah, Mobile Legends is a very well optimized game, so no problem there. Next up, we're probably gonna move on to PUBG. Let's go to Battle Royale again. That's gonna probably take a bit longer. So yeah, let's go, fourth game. So fourth game, PUBG, my battery percentage is currently at 71% and my graphics is all set to maximum. So let's quickly just start a match. So that was PUBG done. It took us about 28 minutes to complete a match. My battery percentage is at 62%. Now the battery life before was around low 70s and it dropped to around low 60s now, so about a 10% drop. In terms of frame rates, I got a steady 39 to 40 frames per second. That's because the graphics setting, I used the Ultra HD graphics settings with maximum frame rates enabled. And the temperature wise, I scanned already just now, and right in the middle in the screen portion of the phone, I managed to get about a 37.7 degrees Celsius. Over on the sides, it was around 34 or 35 degrees Celsius, which is still bearable, especially with the case on. Now finally, let's move on to our last and final game, and probably the one that will actually push this phone to its maximum, Genshin Impact. Now for Genshin, I am going to turn on X mode because I know this game will need it. And my current battery percentage is 61%. And in Genshin, the graphics is set to high preset with 60 frames per second mode enabled. That's Genshin Impact out of the way, and in terms of performance while you're out adventuring and walking around, sure, you can get a steady 59, 58 frames per second, but in battles, it will drop down to about low 40s, so be prepared for that. And I do have X mode turned on, so the phone got a little bit hotter as well. So let's quickly test out the temperature right in the middle, and off to the sides, 36. And if we move on to the screen, right in the middle, it's about 39, and 37 off to the sides. In the game, I used the high graphics preset. You can go a tad bit higher, but I don't think that was necessary. And if you do go higher, you will get a little bit more stuttering as well. And I also enabled 60 frames per second. I can't do 30 frames per second. And if you are the kind of person who wants to game at 60 frames per second, this game will handle it, but it does get pretty warm even on these sides. Now, of course, if it does get too warm for you, you can always use the Aero Active Cooler 5 that comes in the box. So no worries there. Since the chipset is placed right in the middle, the cooler itself does cool just the middle portion of your back panel. So what do I think about the ROG Phone 5S Pro in terms of its gaming performance? Well, as expected, the Snapdragon 888 Plus can handle any game whatsoever with no problems, maybe with the exception of Genshin Impact. But even so, you will be able to enjoy it at high graphics preset at 60 frames per second. Do note, however, the chip does get warmer as is expected of the Snapdragon 888 family of chipsets. But like I mentioned earlier, there is a cooler that comes in a box that can help mitigate that issue just a bit. And for 4,999 ringgit, I would reckon that it's well worth the money if you really like mobile gaming. The improvements that come with this phone over the original ROG Phone 5 include, of course, that chipset and a faster touch sampling rate on the display, and it does translate well into the user experience. My gaming experience so far was fantastic. So after 2 hours of gaming, my battery percentage is left at 49% and we started at 99%, and considering we maxed out our graphics on every game that we played, I think there was 5 games, and along with max graphics and max refresh rates, the battery percentage that you get right now is pretty much expected. Let us know what you think about the ROG Phone 5S Pro down in the comment section below. Tell us what else you would like to see us do with the phone. Until next time, this is Victor signing off.